to the Chinese Zodiac for the Chinese New Year. As we enter into this time period tomorrow on Eastern Standard Time, the Chinese New Year will come upon us, and it's the wood snake. Interestingly enough, I happen to be a wood snake myself. And if we look at the Chinese Zodiac, there are 12 Chinese animals, right? So each year it changes. So for example, since we're going into the wood snake in 2025, it will take another 12 years before the snake year will come upon us. And then each particular 12 years will bring a different element for that particular snake, or depending upon what zodiac you happen to be. And so as we head into the snake year, not only does the animal itself change, but the element associated with it changes as well. So for example, we have a metal years, which are people's birthdays ending in the last year, ending in a 0 or a 1. So if you're born in 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990, 2000, or before that, ending in a 0 or a 1, 1961, 1971, 81, so on, then you're a metal year. And so those metal years are basically a specific element. So the water year, for example, if you're a water element, you're born, your last number of your birth year would end in a 2 or a 3. If you're a wood year, your birth date would end in a 4 or a 5. 1954, 1964, 1974, 1955, 1965, 1975, 1985 would be also a wood year. If your birth year ends in a 6 or a 7, you're in a fire year. Right? 1956, 1966, 1976, 86, 96, 2006, and so on. An earth year would be an 8 or a 9, right? So that your year ends in an 8 or a 9, and then you are in the earth year. And what's interesting about the specific elements is that they have an effect on the element that follows after it. So for example, the wood makes a fire burn, right? So wood has a part in fire, in the fire element itself. And also a fire creates earth. When a fire takes place, it creates more earth, more space. So fire creates earth. Earth creates or bears metal. So when the earth is moved away, or the part of the earth itself, the core of the earth is made of metal. So that has an interaction in those two elements. And then metal runs water. It controls water, the paths that the water will take. And the water has a bearing on the wood, right? Water assists wood to grow. So this particular cycle is very interesting. So we're in a wood year coming up tomorrow, and we're in the snake year. And as we look at the snake year itself, the snake year is very interesting because as for anyone who's entering this particular period, it really encourages us to acknowledge and to surrender which no longer serves us, things that no longer have a resonance within us. It's very important for us to honor and surrender what was and what might have been, and allowing what must be and what's necessary to take place in our lives in the coming year. So it's really shedding the old to allow for the new. And the old skin needs to be discarded in order for us to be healthy. Otherwise, what happens is if we leave that old skin, it really chokes us up and it doesn't allow the skin to breathe. And so issues that we hold on to, thoughts that we hold on to, old hurts, angers, wounds that we don't deal with or at least look at, and we allow this to remain in our energy field. Just as a snake has its skin, we need to shed that skin. We need to allow it to become old and allow it to fall off. And we do that by preparing ourselves to better understand our mind, body, and spirit and the connection that it has. And so as we go through this year coming up, we're going to be able to at least be aware by the things I'm saying and through your own consciousness, what issues need to be resolved and what needs to be let go of. So what I'd like to do today in this journey is I'd like us to really look at the snake year as what aspect of yourself needs to be shed from yourself, what needs to be resolved or taken away, and fully resolved and taken away. Because, you know, the snake year is a year of healing, right? It's not just the shedding, but it's the healing process, right? When we lose skin or we get a burn, the old skin comes off and then the healing takes place under that skin. But it's necessary for us to remove the old in order for the new to come in. All right, so let's go on a journey. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to, I guess you'll ask the snake, when you come out of the other side of the cave, you'll ask the snake what it is that you need to shed, what you need to remove in this snake year. And be open to the answers. Don't try to control the scenario. Just allow and take in that information. You'd be surprised how much information comes through and is an intuitive hit or a message from spirit. All righty. So if you haven't done this before, just get comfortable. And by the way, somebody posted that there are ads. I don't put any ads in this, so they're putting them on. And I'm sorry that it interrupts the journey. That shouldn't happen. And yeah, so hopefully that could be resolved in some capacity, but I don't know how that'll happen. For now, let's just try to concentrate and override whatever there is and stay focused if that happens in the journey itself, and create the dialogue or information that's coming through as impactful, and believe in what you're receiving. Don't doubt. Just be open to it. All right, get into a comfortable position, whether sitting or lying down. If you can cover your eyes, even better. We're going to go on a journey to the snake year and see what information comes through. So when we get to the other side again, we will be encountered by whatever snake you see, whatever color it is, okay? All right, so get comfortable, take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take one more deep breath in, and let's go on our journey. We enter the forest, and we walk on our path. The sun is shining brightly on your face. As you continue walking on the path, you hear the birds whistling in the trees. And the wind blowing through. Walking up ahead, you see an opening into the cave. And you enter the area, using your hands to guide you through. As you walk through the darkness, you see the light at the other side. And you walk out. As soon as you walk out, you're met by a snake. What color is the snake? What does it look like? Stand in front of the snake. You ask it, what is it that you need to shed, let go of in the coming year? breath in and exhale. And you stop in front of an oak tree on the left. You put your hands around the tree. And the tree absorbs the positive ions. Feel the connection in your hands. You thank the tree. And then release your hands from the... And you walk out of the forest. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Move your fingers, move your toes, shrug your shoulders, and when you're ready, come back into the room and open your eyes. Okay, this was Shamanic Journey number 83 to the Chinese Zodiac, to the Chinese New Year. And as we discussed today, tomorrow begins the Chinese New Year for the snake wood. And the snake is the animal. As I mentioned earlier, it's all about healing and moving away from unrest to a place of wellness. So it requires us to shed our skin and to completely shed our skin. And we have to remove it so that we no longer are held down in a state of disease, but more in a position of ease. And so hopefully you're able to receive information that would have offered some insight into what you needed to shed for the coming year. Below in the description, I put down the 12 Chinese animals and some of the characteristics that belong to those animals. Also, I mentioned earlier at the very beginning, the specific years and the elements that are associated with them. You know, to keep in mind so that we have an understanding of why the elements are important, specifically metal, water, wood, fire, and earth, is because each element either assists the element that it needs. So for example, like water feeds the wood, right? And wood feeds a fire, fire feeds an earth, the earth feeds metal, metal creates the opening for water. And so that's a constructive cycle. But there are different cycles based upon the element that you happen to be. So the coming year is going to be a wood year. If you happen to be a wood, it'll be in correlation to the element of who you are and what you represent. But sometimes there are elements that don't correspond to the element we have. So for example, if a person it's a metal year and a person is a wood element, what happens is metal somehow cuts wood, right? Just as it like an axe would cut the wood. And so those years there become different characteristics based upon those types of traits that exist. But nonetheless, tomorrow is the Chinese New Year. So I want to wish everybody a happy New Year. And again, down below, you can see some of the characteristics that are represented by your specific animal itself. Okay, I hope you had a wonderful journey, and I hope you have a wonderful week and a wonderful year ahead. Whether you celebrate the New Year or not, it's always interesting to learn something new and to incorporate it in our lives. All right, have a wonderful evening.